Hey, so I'm going to be talking about extrasolar planet detection. Um, Extrasolar planets, if you don't know, are planets that are not in our solar system, but in other solar systems. That is to say, planets orbiting other stars, not our sun. Now, the thing about extrasolar planets is they're small, not very bright, and they're really far away. So usually we can't take a picture of them directly. Sometimes we can. Sometimes we can get like a little pinprick of light. But for the most part, we can't take a picture of them directly. The sun, the star that they're orbiting, is just too bright by comparison, and it just drowns them out, you know? So, in order to find extrasolar planets, and we have found a lot of extrasolar planets, we had to get a little creative. And there are two main methods we use to do that. The first is called the transit method. So for the transit method, let's say we have a star with a planet orbiting it, and then here is us on Earth looking for extrasolar planets. So this star is giving off light and we can see the star, but you can see how as this planet goes around its orbit, when it goes in this area, when it goes between us and the star, it's going to block some of the star's light. And so, even if we can't see the planet, maybe we can see that every so often the star gets a little bit dimmer. And this happens like consistently, like, oh, every 1.7 years it gets dimmer for 2 months. And if we see something happening that consistently, then we can think, oh, okay, it must be a planet that is going in front of the star and blocking some of its light over the course of the planet's year. So yeah, that's pretty straightforward. But the transit method does have some problems. The most obvious, well, maybe not the most obvious, the main one is that the transit method only works if the orbit of the planet is lined up properly with us and the star. Alright, so like, consider maybe we have another star, and here's Earth again, but its planet orbits like this relative to us. Alright, so this planet never goes between the star and us, so we'll never find this planet with the transit method. And you could also have something like this, where it's like the planet's close to being lined up properly, but just isn't. And so we're still kind of out of luck here. We can't find this planet using the transit method. We just gotta get lucky with solar systems that are lined up just right relative to us in order for it to work. So yeah, that's the transit method. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. And yeah, I guess the other thing I should say about it is that, you know, if we just see a star get dimmer once, there's a wide variety of things that might cause that. So to think that we have a planet, right, we want to be able to see this happening repeatedly on like a routine basis, which can be pretty time consuming, you know. If this planet takes 1.5 years to orbit, and we decide we need to see it 3 times before we're confident that it's a planet, You know, that's going to take 4.5 years of watching this star before we can say, oh yeah, that's a planet. We found a planet, you know. So that can be pretty time consuming. And then also, of course, you have the issue of it not lining up. But yeah, so that's a transit method, pretty straightforward. In the next video, I will be talking about the other method. So look forward to that. It will go up right after.